Since 2019, an African philanthropic foundation has been interviewing thousands of young people across the continent.
By 2030, Africans will make up 42% of the world's young people. So their young people need to be listened to. The Africa Youth Survey has questioned thousands of young people across the continent.
Well, this week on One World, we're taking a look at some of the findings from the Africa Youth Survey. Researchers conducted 14,000 face-to-face interviews across 25 African countries. Here's why that's important. The IMF says by 2035, there will be more young Africans entering the workforce each year than in the rest of the world combined. With so much at stake, many young Africans are taking matters into their own hands.
To Africa now and the problem of corruption, because it's the biggest concern for the continent's young people. According to a wide-ranging survey just published, almost 60% said they're looking to leave their country in search of better opportunities because corruption is stopping them from getting ahead. They were also asked about a range of issues from the war in Ukraine to the influence of the US and China.
As the fastest growing demographic globally, African youth are the ones to watch. How will they shape their countries, influence the continent, and make their mark on the global stage? Now, in its third iteration, the African Youth Survey is the most comprehensive research into Africa's youth. It provides an in-depth look at the perspectives, sentiments, and intentions of young people across the continent on critical social, political, and environmental issues. Since its inception in 2020, researchers have gauged the sentiments of more than 14,000 respondents through face-to-face interviews across 25 countries, covering 80 African cities and rural centers. For this edition, 5,604 youths were interviewed in 16 countries. Despite the significant economic challenges they face, African youth remain hopeful and ambitious. Attitudes about the overall direction of the continent and their countries remain negative, but there are small improvements following dips during COVID. There is a sense that the youth still believe that things can be turned around. Corruption is the single greatest hurdle they face to achieve their own potential, and there is support for a range of policies to address it, including police task forces, tougher penalties, and banning those convicted of corruption from standing for public office. Almost 60% are looking to emigrate in the next 5 years, with North America being the top destination of choice, followed by Western Europe. Although the majority still believe in democracy, many are turning away from the Western concept of democracy in favor of an African-infused system that will deliver the results they desire. More alarmingly, nearly 1 in 3 believe that non-democratic systems could be preferable under certain circumstances. The majority of African youth do remain skeptical of foreign influence for fear of exploitation of their country's natural resources. Youth continue to identify China and the United States as the two most influential foreign powers in the region. An increasing proportion view the impact of Russia's influence in their country negatively. The survey explored the impact of the Ukraine-Russia war on the continent, revealing that a majority of youth blames Western powers for the conflict. 3/4 are concerned about climate change, and 4 in 5 say their government needs to be doing more to address it. In 2024, African youth paint a cautiously optimistic picture of the future. They have greater confidence in what's possible. They will start businesses or move overseas to pursue opportunities.
What gives us amazing hope is to see the ambition of youth wanting to be the positive change in their communities and in their environment. There is a very strong motivation amongst youth to go out and start businesses and to drive entrepreneurship.
If there ever was a wake-up call to the West to say, invest in Africa, help create jobs, help keep Africans in Africa, it's now.
I like the fact that they're not just thinking about jobs as the panacea to their problems, it's about creating opportunities for yourself and income.
Absolutely, and as I say, the data that has come out of the 2024 survey is that our youth are optimistic and that they want to see positive change, and they want to see positive change now.